Ever wonder what's behind the dial? The world of radio is both complex and fascinating. But you can't belt out those favorite tunes until the people behind the dial have done their job. Dix Communications owns and operates 4 outstanding radio stations in the region. WTBO 1450 and Talk Radio 560 are both AM stations. Each AM station has a satellite base. GO106 FM is a station produced locally with offices in Cumberland, Maryland. GO106 FM is every rocker's paradise. Nothing but the best classic rock gets played from this tower. This is just a small portion of what can be heard on the Tri-State's classic rock station. WFRB Country 105.3 is the other FM station playing today's best country and yesterday's favorites. Need you by my side. It's gonna be a long hot summer. Wish you'd be together with your feet up on the dashboard now. I dug my key into the side of this pretty little souped up four-wheel drive. Carved my name into his leather seats. Just to see you smile, I'd do anything. These radio stations combined broadcast to listeners in 4 different states. Within this coverage area, 61% of FM listeners are tuned in to GO106 and WFRB. Let's get down to more details. Who are the people behind the dial? And how do they produce the material heard on the stations?
GO106, Sweet Home, Alabama. It's Leonard Skinner for you. Martin in the morning, 8:13 now. Your AccuWeather forecast today.
It's going to and warmer on Sunday. Low closer to 60. In fact, by Tuesday, it's a possibility we'll be seeing temperatures closer to 70 degrees for our high. Right now, it's 48 in Cumberland.
The studio can be confusing, but let's meet the experts who will show us how they manage the machine. Tim Martin, host of the Martin in the Morning Show, Cumberland's longest continuously running radio show, explains how he compiles playlists and commercials heard over the airwaves.
The way our system works, what you're looking at is this is the list of commercial advertisers that are coming up on the left side. Over here on the right is a longer list that you can search way ahead. If I want to see what's coming up later on today, I can push a button, scroll to hour. Let's say we want to see what's happening at 3 o'clock this afternoon. There's 3 o'clock this afternoon. So on this side, we can look ahead and say, all right, at 3:20 today, we're going to be playing Leonard Skinner. We'll play some Beatles a little after that, some Sammy Hagar. You can always look ahead. In fact, you can do this same thing for another day. If you want to look ahead for, say, tomorrow, I can look ahead, go to an hour. I'm on the air tomorrow at 3 in the afternoon, so let's see what I'm going to be playing. I'll have some Police, some Bob Seger, some Van Halen. If I want to look ahead even further, I could do that. The music is scheduled in advance so we can see what's actually coming up. Meanwhile, back on this side, we're seeing what's immediately coming up. So, for example, we've got our David Letterman feature airing right now. After David Letterman, we're going to play a sponsor, and then after that we'll go into a song.
Now to Rhonda Kiefer, host of The Lunch Break, broadcast from 12 to 1 on GO106. She will walk us through how to take a song request on air.
When someone calls in and has a request, say for the lunch break, because it's an all-request show from noon to 1, take the caller, either pick them up live on the phone and talk to them, or I can get them off of the recorder, find out what their request is. And it's easy to change it. Even though our machinery is set up to run by itself, this computer will run indefinitely if we give it information. All I have to do is a couple of quick steps. If you come over here, I'll show you. For example, if someone calls in and says they want to hear Bryan Adams, Cuts Like a Knife, I can search it out by title in our library. Cuts Like... I have two different versions, and I know one of them is a studio version. The other is a live version. I'm going to touch one of those, get some more information, and see by the title that this is the one that I want. If I looked at the other one, it would tell me it's the live unplugged version. So this is the version I want. I will go back to my log so that it will be ready to air as the next song in line. You'll see it on the left-hand side as well, that it will come up after our call drop. That's how you get a request on the air. I walk in here, touch the screen, put it in, and it's ready to go.
Next, it's off to WFRB with offices in Frostburg, where we will meet Hannah, co-star of the Hannah and the Trucker Morning Show on WFRB. She will show us how community events are transferred off of the WFRB website, then into audio format, where they will be heard on the radio.
My job is to record it so that you're actually hearing it. I mean, I put an audio to what's written here. So I would just go into the calendars and I pull up the event calendar, and then I pick what day I want to record. There's only one event going on Tuesday. You can see a few events. So I mainly stick to what's going on for the weekend, and then that runs all week long. So if I'm looking at, this coming weekend, you can see here there's several events going on. This is just the title, but if you click on one, then it will pull up the whole itinerary for that day in a more detailed atmosphere here. So then I would just, go to actually the audio here where we record and get that set up. And I would just simply start recording, make sure that's working, pull that up, and then just pick out different things. We do them usually in 60-second segments. So probably, 2 or 3 of these will give me the 60 seconds that I'm looking for. So I usually cut 2 or 3 for each weekend, but that's usually enough to let folks know what's going on in and around the community. And then when I'm done recording, I just edit it, clean it all up, and put it into our audio recorder to rotate with the other community events that are happening.
Each station is highly involved in the community. Whether it's pulling a steam engine to fund the Special Olympics in Allegheny County, decorating pumpkins with the children at the Country Club Mall, or braving the freezing cold waters at Lake Habib at the annual Hoolie Plunge in Rocky Gap State Park to fund Allegheny County United Way. These stations know how to get involved and help out the community. The fun never stops in radio. In the studio or out in the community, the opportunities are endless.